Video lesson prepared by N. Markandaya, lecturer in chemistry, Dr. BRR Government Degree College, Jadcherla, Department of Chemistry. Topic is carbohydrates, BSc third year, 6th semester, paper 7. So in carbohydrates, topic is epimerization. So the first definition of epimers: diastereomers that differ in configuration at only one chiral center are called epimers. Diastereomers that differ in configuration at only one chiral center are called epimers. For example of epimers, D-glucose and D-mannose. D-glucose and D-mannose are C2 epimers. C2 epimers means they define in configuration only at C2 carbon. So, and the D-glucose and D-galactose are C4 epimers, differ in configuration at C4 carbon. So D-glucose, D-galactose are C4 epimers. D-glucose, D-mannose are C2 epimers. See here, we know the glucose structure here. See mannose structure, CHO, HOH, OHH, HOH, HOH, CH2OH. This is the D-mannose. Here D-glucose is there. So in both, this is the C1 carbon, this is the C2 carbon. So at C2 carbon, they differ the configuration. So D-glucose and D-mannose are the C2 epimers. Next, D-glucose and D-galactose. See here, D for structure of D-galactose, CHO, OH, H, HOH, 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 CH2OH. This is the D-galactose. So this is the D-glucose. See here, first carbon same, second carbon configuration same, third carbon configuration same. See here, fourth carbon configuration. So in glucose OH is right side, in galactose OH is so left side. So these D-glucose and D-galactose both are differ configuration at C4 carbon. So both are the C4 epimers. So this is the definition of epimers. See, diastereomers that differ in configuration at only one chiral center are called epimers. D-glucose and D-mannose are the C2 epimers, and D-glucose and D-galactose are the C4 epimers. Next, epimerization. See here, the interconversion of one epimer to another epimer is called epimerization. The interconversion of one epimer to another epimer is called as epimerization. Here see here, so D-glucose is oxidized to D-gluconic acid, so which in the presence of pyridine undergoes epimerization to D-mannonic acid. The epimeric acid is separated, converted to lactone, and then reduced to the epimeric aldose. So here finally D-glucose convert into the D-mannose. D-glucose convert into the D-mannose. The mechanism of this conversion: see here, first D-glucose so react with the bromine water, form a D-gluconic acid. So here D-glucose, gluconic amlam. Bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. So it will convert the aldehydic group to the carboxylic group. So D-glucose converted to the D-gluconic acid. So which in the presence of pyridine undergoes the epimerization. So here the both are D-gluconic acid, D-mannonic acid, both are the equilibrium reactions. So in the presence of pyridine, this gluconic acid convert into the D-mannonic acid. So this is the epimerization. By undergoes the epimerization. The epimeric acid, this mannonic acid, is separated and converted to lactone on heating. This is the gamma lactone. So D-mannolactone. And then reduced to the epimeric aldose, that means D-mannose. See here reaction D-glucose. So react with the bromine water. Bromine water is a mild oxidizing agent. So this converted to the aldehyde group into the carboxylic acid. So D-gluconic acid. In the presence of pyridine, this D-gluconic acid converted to the D-mannonic acid. Both are the epimers. So in the presence of heat, this D-mannonic acid so convert into the mannolactone. This is reduced to form a epimeric aldose, that means D-mannose. See here. So D-mannose, that means here conversion of D-glucose to D-mannose is known as a epimerization. That means so one interconversion of one epimer into the another epimer. Here D-glucose, D-mannose both are the epimers. So D-glucose is one epimer, D-mannose is another epimer. So D-glucose convert into the D-mannose. So this is the interconversion of one epimer to another epimer is called a epimerization. Next reaction, very important reaction, Lobre-de-Bruyn-van Ekenskin rearrangement. Lobre-de-Bruyn-van Ekenskin rearrangement. See here. So the fructose contain keto group. It gives tolerance test and failing test. So generally keto functional group does not give the tolerance test and failing test. So only aldehyde compounds can give the tolerance and failing test. So by using this tolerance test and failing test, we can separate the aldehyde group and keto group. So because aldehyde gives a tolerance and failing test, ketones does not give a tolerance and failing tests. By using that reaction, we can separate the aldehydes and ketones but here fructose contain the keto functional group. So but it gives a tolerance test and failing test. So fructose is a keto hexose. It contains the keto functional group. So if keto functional group, it does not give the tolerance and failing test, but fructose gives a tolerance test and failing test. The reason for this anomaly can be explained by LDV rearrangement, Lobre-de-Bruyn-van Ekenskin rearrangement. So this is explained by the LDV rearrangement. See here. So D-glucose when treated with alkali changes to an equilibrium mixture containing D-glucose, D-mannose and D-fructose via the intermediate enediol. Is known as a Lobre-de-Bruyn-van Ekenskin rearrangement. Okay, here D-glucose when treated with the alkali changes to an equilibrium mixture of D-glucose, D-mannose and D-fructose. So this reaction undergoes via enediol intermediate. So this conversion is known as a LDV rearrangement. See here, if the D-glucose gives a D-mannose and D-fructose. If they take the D-mannose, it will gives a D-glucose and D-fructose. So if they take the D-fructose, it will give a D-glucose and D-mannose. So the same mixture can be obtained from fructose or mannose also. So here D-glucose when treated with alkali changes to an equilibrium mixture containing D-glucose, D-mannose, D-fructose. If they take the D-fructose when treated with the alkali changes to an equilibrium mixture of containing so D-fructose, D-glucose, D-mannose also. If they take the D-mannose when treated with the alkali changes to an equilibrium mixture containing D-mannose, D-glucose, D-fructose. So the same mixture can be obtained from fructose also or mannose also. See here, formation of mixture of glucose, fructose and mannose from any one of them in presence alkali can be explained by formation of an enol intermediate. So this conversion goes via enediol or enediol intermediate. Here see the reaction. Here see the reactions. So first take the D-glucose. So D-glucose when treated with alkali OH minus, so it will form a enediol. See here, CHOH. Here enediol will form. So this from enediol it will equilibrium mixture of D-glucose and D-fructose. From D-glucose, so on keep on alkali, D-glucose convert a D-mannose and D-fructose. These three D-glucose, D-mannose, D-fructose are all in equilibrium mixture. Here D-glucose is 64%, so D-fructose is 33%, D-mannose is 3%. The three are in equilibrium mixture. So this conversion takes place via enediol intermediate. See here, enediol intermediate. See the mechanism. So you take the D-glucose, C double bond OH, CHOH, second carbon OH is right side, H is left side. When it react, this is the D-glucose. This is D-glucose. Okay. When this react with the OH minus, it will absorb the alpha hydrogen. This is the keto functional group, aldehyde functional group. So aldehyde functional group, this is the alpha carbon, this is the alpha hydrogen. Alpha hydrogen having a acidic nature. So when react with the OH minus, this alpha hydrogen can absorbed by OH minus as a water molecule to form a carbon ion. See here, this carbon ion. So when this is here C double bond O, so oxygen is more electronegative. So this pi bond attracted by oxygen, this minus charge will goes here. So in presence of water, it will gives a enediol carboxylate, COH double bond CHO minus. So on hydrolysis, it will gives a COH CHOH. This is the enediol. So when it is rearrangement, like here see, this first carbon attracted the double bond and that carbon will get the negative charge. This second carbon get the positive charge. This OH bond so shift to the second carbon H go and attach it to the first carbon. It will convert as a CH2OH, C double bond O. So that means it is a fructose structure. It is a fructose structure. It is fructose. So from D-glucose to D-fructose conversion via enediol. So next conversion, same. So this carbon ion, inversion of carbon ion takes place here. So this carbon ion OH is right side, here OH is left side on carbon ion. Same conversion. See, O minus attract the pi bond and this minus carbon to form a enediol. So again, so this conversion, this rearrangement takes place. This bond will convert, this bond will convert. Finally, CHO, like here, CO bond H, here double bond C. This type of group is there. So this is the, see here, this pi bond attracted by this carbon will get the positive charge. Then this bond will get this type, this H plus ion attached to the carbon. Then this first group is converted as a aldehyde group. This group is a CHOH group. That means it will convert as a D-mannose. So here D-glucose. So according to this reaction, it will convert a D-fructose. So according to this mechanism, it will convert a D-mannose. So D-glucose, so when treated with alkali, changes to an equilibrium mixture containing D-glucose, D-mannose and D-fructose via enediol intermediate. So this mechanism is known as Lobre-de Bruyn-van Eckenstein rearrangement. So okay, this is the LDV rearrangement. See, next some examples, multiple choice questions are there in this chapter. See here. So which one of the following pair forms a same osazone? So when the glucose and fructose react with the 3 moles of phenylhydrazine, it will give a glucosazone and fructosazone like this. So which one of the following pair forms same osazone? See here, D-ribose and D-arabinose, this is one pair, and the second pair is the D-glucose and D-allose, second pair, and third pair is D-fructose and D-mannose. These are the 3 pairs are there. Which pair gives a same osazone? See here. So D-ribose structure is there, D-ribose. So in this D-ribose, first carbon, second carbon OH is right. So ribose is a aldopentose. It contain aldehyde functional group and 5 carbon atoms. So like D-arabinose also aldopentose. It contains aldehyde functional group and 5 carbon atoms. In that, so in D-ribose, second carbon OH is right side, third carbon OH is right side, fourth carbon OH is also right side. So in D-arabinose, first carbon OH, second carbon OH left, third carbon OH right, fourth carbon OH, so right. So in this 2 gives a same osazone. So here take here first carbon CHO group, aldehyde groups, so react with the phenylhydrazine to form a phenylhydrazones. And the second carbon, so OH also participate in the formation of osazone. So first and second carbons are involved in the formation of osazones. Remaining third carbon and fourth carbon contain the same configuration. Third carbon and fourth carbon contain the same configuration. So D-arabinose and D-ribose both are gives a same osazone. See here. So this is same. This is also same. Third, fourth, fifth carbon configurations are same in D-ribose and D-arabinose. So the both are gives a same osazone with phenylhydrazine. Next is D-glucose D-allose. D-glucose D-allose are the aldohexoses. So they contain the aldehyde functional group and 6 carbon atoms. In D-glucose we know already first carbon aldehyde functional group and second carbon functional group both are participate in the formation of glucosazone. So remaining third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon configuration is remaining like that. In D-allose first carbon participate in osazone formation, second carbon also participate in osazone formation. See here, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon remaining same. In D-glucose D-allose the configuration at C3 carbon, see here C3 carbon, here C3 carbon. In glucose C3 carbon OH is left side. In D-allose third carbon OH is right side. In D-glucose OH is left side, in D-allose OH is right side. So they can differ the OH. So they can't form a same osazone. They can't form a same osazone. Okay, next D-fructose and D-mannose. See here, D-fructose structure is there. In D-fructose structure, so first C1 carbon and C2 carbon both participate in the formation of osazone, and the third, fourth, fifth carbon configuration so is same. And D-mannose also first carbon and second carbon both participate in the formation of osazone. Here third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon are remain. So in D-fructose D-mannose third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon configurations are same. So they can form a same osazone. So here see the first answer is correct, 1 and 3rd ante D-ribose, D-arabinose and D-fructose and D-mannose are form a same osazones with phenylhydrazines. In D-glucose and D-allose third carbon configuration is different to say. So both are different isomers. They can't form a same osazones. This is the this type of questions will come in exams. Next, second one. So which one of the following is C4 epimer of D-glucose? See here, which one of the following is C4 epimer of glucose? We know the glucose structure. So fructose structure. So D-galactose is the C4 epimer of glucose. See the galactose structure. You know the galactose structure also, CHO. This is the D-galactose structure. This is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. So in fourth carbon, glucose OH is right side. So in galactose, so OH is left side. So both are differ at C4 carbon. So they are C4 epimers. They differ at the C4 carbon. So they are the C4 epimers. So which is a D-galactose is C4 epimer of D-glucose. This is the answer. So next third one. See here D-galactose and D-glucose structures. So both are differ at C4 carbon. The position of keto in D-fructose is C2 carbon. We know the structure of fructose. Fructose is a ketohexose. Fructose is a ketohexose. See the CH2OH and C double bond O, second carbon, OH, HOH, HOH, CH2OH. So here this is the first carbon, this is the second carbon, this is the third carbon. So second carbon contain the keto functional group. So the position of ketone in D-fructose is C2 carbon. At C2 carbon, the fructose contain the ketone functional group. Next fourth one, which one of the hydroxyl group participate in the hemiacetal formation in D-glucose? So D-glucose, which one of the hydroxyl group participate in hemiacetal formation in D-glucose? Generally, fifth carbon OH participate in the formation of hemiacetal, that is known as a glucopyranose structure. Glucopyranose structure, like here CHO, HOH, so this is the structure. This is the glucose structure. See here, so this bond will come. This fifth carbon OH participate in the cyclization. So participate in the hemiacetal formation. So to form a glucopyranose, see like here. Like here OH is there, the cyclization takes place at fifth carbon. So this is the glucopyranose, alpha D glucopyranose. So here fifth carbon OH, fifth carbon hydroxyl group participate in the hemiacetal formation. So to form a alpha D glucopyranose. So if it will C4 carbon OH participate in the hemiacetal formation, so it will form a furanose, alpha D glucopyranose. But alpha D furanose is more stable conformation than the D furanose structure. So in the C5 carbon participate in the C5 OH hydroxyl group participate in the hemiacetal formation. See, next question is, which one of the following reagent convert glucose to D-gluconic acid. See here the glucose structure. This is the glucose structure. So when it react with the bromine water is a mild oxidizing reagent. So it will convert the aldehyde functional group so into COOH functional group, because it is a mild oxidizing agent. It can oxidizes only aldehyde functional group to acid functional group. So D-glucose when react with the bromine water, it will convert a gluconic acid. This is the structure of gluconic acid. This is the structure of D-glucose. So here, so reagent is bromine water. Here reagent is bromine water. Next, see here, next one. So the number of moles of phenylhydrazine required to form a osazone R. The number of moles of phenylhydrazine required to form a osazone R. Here 3 moles of phenylhydrazine required for the formation of osazone from D-glucose or D-fructose. So we already know the first mole of glucose, first mole of phenylhydrazine react with the aldehyde group of glucose to form a phenylhydrazone. Then second mole of phenylhydrazine convert a C2 carbon, secondary alcohol at C2 carbon into ketone functional group, C double bond O functional group, and it reduced to aniline and ammonia. So third mole of phenylhydrazine so react with the keto group of second carbon to form a osazone. Same like fructose, also same. Fructose, so first mole of phenylhydrazine react with the C1 carbon, that means primary alcohol, to form a secondary keto functional group to form a phenylhydrazone. The second mole of phenylhydrazine so oxidizes primary alcohol, that means C1 alcohol to aldehyde functional group. So third mole of phenylhydrazine then react with the aldehyde functional group to form a osazone. So finally 3 moles of phenylhydrazine required for formation of osazone from D-glucose or D-fructose, that means D-glucosazone or fructosazone. Glucose or fructose react with the 3 moles of phenylhydrazine. So next see the fill in the blanks. The alpha and beta ethyl D-glucopyranoses are, so both are the anomers. See here, this is the alpha ethyl D-glucopyranose. This is the first carbon. This is the first carbon. Your first carbon. So your first carbon OET. So our right side, H is left side. Your beta ethyl D-glucopyranose, OET is left side and H is right side. So remaining all configuration is same. So this alpha and beta ethyl D-glucopyranose, the both are defer at configuration at C1 carbon. Both are defer configuration at C1 carbon. So these both are the anomers. Anomers are the So the isomers which differ only in the C1 configuration at C1 carbon atom is known as a anomers. So alpha and beta ethyl D-glucopyranoses are the anomers. Next, second one. So D-glucose does not give dash test. D-glucose does not give a Schipp's test. So it does not restore the color of Schipp's reagent. So because the open chain structure of D-glucose does not give a Schipp's test, it does not restore the color of Schipp's reagent. So next, third one, the example of aldotriose. Ose is a common name of carbohydrates, and aldo means it contains the aldehyde functional group. So tri means it contains the 3 carbon atoms. So glyceraldehyde is a example for aldotriose. Glyceraldehyde is a example for aldotriose. See here the glyceraldehyde structure. CH2OH. This is the D-glyceraldehyde. This is the D-glyceraldehyde. It contains the aldehyde functional group and 3 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms. So it is a aldotriose. So if this OH is left, H is right. It is a L-glyceraldehyde. So aldotriose. D-glyceraldehyde is example for the aldotriose. See next, fourth one, the product formed from the reaction of D-glucose with concentrated HNO3 is D-gluconic acid. The product formed from the reaction of D-glucose with concentrated HNO3 is D-gluconic acid. See here D-glucose. So react with the concentration HNO3. Concentration HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. It can oxidizes aldehyde functional group into carboxylic acid functional group and primary alcohol into COOH functional group. Here this aldehyde functional group convert into COOH. Primary alcohols also convert into the COOH. So it form this is a D-glucoric acid. So D-glucose when react with the strong oxidizing agent concentration HNO3, it form a glucoric acid. Next one, D-glucose and D-fructose are dash isomers. D-glucose and D-fructose are dash isomers. D-glucose and D-fructose are the functional isomers because D-glucose containing a aldehyde functional group. D-glucose contain a aldehyde functional group and D-fructose contain a keto functional group. D-fructose contain a keto functional group. So both are the functional group is differ here. This is aldehyde functional group. This is the keto functional group. So D-glucose and D-fructose are the functional isomers. So this is the some multiple choice questions and fill in the blanks in carbohydrate chapter. This is the totally carbohydrates. In this carbohydrates, so the glucose and fructose structures are very important, and the interconversions of monosaccharides are very important, and epimerization LDC So rearrangement also, so very important. Okay, thank you. This is the carbohydrate chapter.